Breaking news, the White House issues its most dire warning yet about the threat of a Russian attack on Ukraine, saying an invasion could happen at any time, including during the Olympics. Tonight, chilling new information about how Vladimir Putin may launch a deadly war.
Is CNN breaking news.
We begin with the strongest signals yet from the Biden administration that the Russia-Ukraine crisis could explode at any moment. Our correspondents and analysts are standing by in Ukraine, in Russia, and here in the United States as we cover this breaking story as only CNN can. First, let's go to our White House correspondent, MJ Lee. MJ, after weeks of U.S. efforts to prevent an invasion, time appears to be running out.
They say a potential invasion could come sooner than previously expected, and they are issuing a stern warning to American citizens in Ukraine.
We are in the window when an invasion could begin at any time, should Vladimir Putin decide to order it.
Tonight, growing urgency at the White House on the looming threat of a Russia invasion of Ukraine. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan appearing at this afternoon's White House press briefing, confirming that Vladimir Putin could launch an attack even sooner than previously anticipated.
There is a credible prospect that a Russian military action would take place even before the end of the Olympics.
This a contrast from prior assessments that Russia was unlikely to invade before the conclusion of the Olympics. The U.S. now making this chilling prediction about what a Russian invasion would look like.
If a Russian attack on Ukraine proceeds, it is likely to begin with aerial bombing and missile attacks that could obviously kill civilians without regard to their nationality. A subsequent ground invasion would involve the onslaught of a massive force.
Sullivan warning in no uncertain terms, American citizens in Ukraine must leave now.
Any American in Ukraine should leave as soon as possible, and in any event in the next 24 to 48 hours. If you stay, you are assuming risk, with no guarantee that there will be any other opportunity to leave, and no prospect of a U.S. military evacuation in the event of a Russian invasion.
The past 24 hours filled with a frenzy of activity at the highest levels of the U.S. government. President Biden convening a call with world leaders earlier today to discuss the escalating situation on the Russia-Ukraine border. Biden joining his top national security advisors in the Situation Room Thursday night in an abruptly scheduled meeting. Mr. President! The president spending the weekend at Camp David.
The president will be at Camp David, which is fully equipped to have engagements of all sorts, including with his national security team or European counterparts.
And expected to speak with Putin on the phone on Saturday.
The U.S. is laying out, I mean, this is remarkable, in pretty striking detail, the intelligence they have on this likely invasion. How is Russia responding at this point? Are they still claiming there's nothing to see here?
They are.
All right, and Alex, you're in Ukraine, and we should point out, we can show a map to our viewers. Ukraine is now almost surrounded. It has Russian forces on three sides of its borders, surrounded by Russia at this point. Just a remarkable situation.
The mayor of Kyiv trying to assure his citizens that critical infrastructure is being protected, that evacuation plans are in place, that they have installed electric generators to keep the power going, and that there are some 5,000 air raid shelters, bomb shelters that are in place that have grown significantly over the course of the past 3 years, hoping to provide some level of comfort to the citizens of Kyiv.
It is stark. General Clark, let me talk to you about this. The National Security Advisor warned Russia could seize a significant amount of territory and possibly launch a rapid assault on the capital city of Kyiv. As the former commander of NATO, can you walk us through how that type of invasion would unfold? And what do you make of this disconnect between the White House and what we're hearing out of Ukraine? It's really bizarre.
It's not bizarre. The Ukrainian government has got to maintain some degree of order and calmness among the citizens. Otherwise, they can't protect their own country. So we shouldn't look at that as bizarre. Now, if the Russians are going to attack, you would expect it to begin with an assassination program of key government and military officials. They've got Spetsnaz that's probably already infiltrated. They may have special weapons in there, including Novichok, the chemical weapon that the Russians have and have used illegally, of course. So they normally would begin with an assassination effort, cyber, missile strikes, and then the ground forces would move. They could come from multiple directions, and they would probably be accompanied by, let's say, 2,000 or 3,000 Russian soldiers dressed as Ukrainians to show confusion and chaos in there. The whole idea will be, it'll be over and it'll be confusing, and the news media in the West will say, well, we don't know what happened, and maybe the government fell, and we're not sure these are Russians. This is the way it will be done. And then you'll see the power of this Russian military that Mr. Putin wants to show off.